Good morning. It's Andrea, aka Chocolate Dimples, and today the video I'm calling it Unpack Your Bags. Um, Recently, a friend of mine asked me to name things that I had healed from or had learned recently, because a lot had happened. A lot had happened, but those things kind of showed me that I was further along than I had realized. Because the last few years have been very, very challenging. Like I said, I went through divorce, but it was before then that I realized that this stuff goes way back, further than that. It's just I started to understand it and recognize it more in my latter age. Um, like there's been debate. I've heard people say, you are what you attract, and some people don't believe that. But for me, there was a lot of truth to that. Yeah. Um, for a very long time, I only seemed to attract people and situations that either matched or maybe increased my own hurt and like trauma. And it was crazy because when the opposite presented itself, I automatically sabotaged. I did not know how to fully, even partially accept or understand wholeness. I knew brokenness. Me and brokenness were on a first name basis. And I had to think about, like, where did all this come from? Because sometimes I would talk to my best friends, and I'm like, man, I feel like a lot of the stuff that I've dealt with my whole life wasn't all mine. It's like I was given some things that I've been carrying with me that may or may not be true experiences of mine, but they were true to the people who gave it to me. Because I realized one day, I was like, I was kind of nursed on brokenness. You know, um, I was raised by broken women, loving, loving. I'm not going to say that I didn't have people who loved me, because they did, but they were broken. And I inherited a lot of that. I believe that I was truly inherited. Again, told you I had to write stuff down. Recognizing this truth for me was a part of me dissecting my life and really examining and seeing, where does this come from? Because generations of women in my family, because I was raised by women. My dad wasn't there. Um, my mother in and out. So they raised by my grandmother and a lot of women. A lot of people were part of me, part of my upbringing, excuse me. Um, but the women, I noticed there was generations of trauma, from sexual molestation and abuse like that, and physical abuse and emotional abuse. And with that came the low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, fear, you know, abandonment, all this unworthiness, all this stuff was deposited in me, creating like a negative balance, if you will. I one day just kind of like laid out all that I had inherited and looked at it with the things that I had consciously and unconsciously purchased in life. Lying, procrastination, sexual perversion, depression. The list just kind of went on and on and on and on. Every aspect of my life was affected by that. Everything, every relationship, just every job. I mean, whatever. I brought that stuff and I carried that stuff in like bags every single place I went. I hurt people who loved me, and those who didn't love me, that's who I held on to. Like, the people probably low key hate me, but I would rather hold on to these people, because at least I understand this crazy. I understand this pain. I don't understand this love and affection. I don't get it. At one point I was, what, 200, over the last few years, I was like 250 pounds. I'm 5'4". I used to be an athlete, and I got to a place where I didn't recognize myself. I told my friend yesterday, I was like, listen, I realized that if I hadn't made some changes, I was gonna probably die by 50. I didn't see myself living very long because I was so hurt and so broken down, and that my body, my physical body, the heaviness that I was carrying was a manifestation, if you will, of my inner self. And as I really started focusing on healing these last few years, like I said, I had to empty those bags. But it was not easy. Oh my God, it was so hard to look at all this stuff and have to change how I relate to other people. I had to look, my family relationship had to change. All these things had to change. And it was very scary. But what's on the other side? I'll have to always tell you what's on the other side. The peace of mind and all the things that come when you deal with this stuff is worth every tear. And yeah, it was worth every bit of it. And I'm gonna leave you real quick one of my favorite Erykah Badu songs, Bag Lady. And it goes, let me see. Bag lady, you gon' hurt your back, dragging all them bags like that. I guess nobody ever told you all you must hold on to is you, is you, is you. One day, all them bags gon' get in your way. I said one day, all them bags gon' get in your way. One day, all them bags gon' get in your way. So, pack light. And that's what I've learned. If I'm going to ever get to where I'm going to go, if you're going to ever get to where you're going to go, wherever you're supposed to be, you got to pack light. Otherwise, you're going to miss your flight. So peace and blessings. Hope that was helpful. It's helped me in life to just let stuff go, get that stuff behind you and move on and be the person that you were meant to be, that you were born to be. Peace and blessings.